You know that feeling when you change the arguments of a function in your Python backend, or maybe a database model, but you forget to adapt your TypeScript interface on the front end, and your app crashes. It sucks, especially if the only reason we migrated to TypeScript is to save us type headache, but then we have to write types in both the backend and the front end. And don't even get me started on writing serializers. I got tired of this, so I built Ephaptic. Look, here's my FastAPI app. I've imported Ephaptic and used the constructor. My user model is a standard Pydantic model. There's no special syntax, just normal Python type hinting. My getUser function takes a user ID and integer as an argument and returns a user object. In the front end, let's fetch the user. Notice that as soon as I use the function, without any arguments, TypeScript already highlights it. Expected 1 arguments, but got 0. Now, what if I set an argument, an empty string? Nope, it's the wrong data type. Argument of type string is not assignable to p. Parameter of type number. Okay, let's put in an actual value. Let's use the ID 0. Let's quickly define the user globally. We use the user interface. Notice the same name as our Pydantic object, and the ID auto imports it from the schema. Let's set it to null for now. And don't forget, set the type to user or null. Now we remove the const keyword from the onMount function. Okay, let's create a simple HTML structure to visualize the data. If I type a non-existent property, like name, I get property name does not exist on type user. This is because in the Pydantic model we have a property username, but not name. Let's rename the property in the front end now. Notice how second I type the letter U, I get autocomplete for username, which is a property of user with the type string. Now underneath it let's add a small element for the user's email. Again, it's in the autocomplete. Let me quickly create a createUser function. It'll accept an argument of the user's username. Use the decorator to expose it to the front end. And make sure we type hint our function. In the front end, let's create a quick asynchronous test function. We'll declare a test username, say, admin. Now let's get the test user. Notice how the front end already knows the function exists, as well as the argument name and type, and even the return value, a promise which resolves to a user, even though we literally just defined it seconds ago. Cool, right? No errors right now, because we've used the correct types. Now, to the createUser function, let's change the arguments. I'll add a second required argument, email, which will be a string. And of course, let's update the code to include the email in the constructor. Look at that. Before we even finish typing, TypeScript has picked up an error on the createUser function. If we hover over it, we can read expected to arguments, but got 1. It also correctly updated the method signature with the second parameter's name and type. Let's quickly also declare a test ale. Let's put this email into the function. And look at that, the error disappears. This isn't powered by a custom VS Code extension, by the way. This is just the TypeScript extension, which means it works out of the box for your favorite editors. Ephaptic uses WebSockets for extreme performance and has Redis integration to help scale horizontally. It's fully open source. Check out the link in the description and give a star on GitHub if you hate writing API wrappers.